BlazBlue Central Fiction is a damn good game that, funny enough, I don't actually get to talk much about. I want to talk about it in my 5 reasons of why I enjoy the game in my personal opinion. If there's something that you guys like about BlazBlue Central Fiction, don't forget to tell me in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and comment on the video as well as sub to the channel. If you like these sort of videos, I definitely have more on my channel, so go seek them out. And without further ado, let's get on with this. Oh yes, the arcade mode. The arcade mode this time around is split into 3 acts, which is practically unheard of for games such as these, and goes to show how much care and effort is put into the BlazBlue story and characters out there compared to other fighting games. While not every character has 3 acts, such as Izanami and the DLC characters like Jubei, Mai, S, Susanoo, it is still cool that this even exists at all. 3 arcade acts for 31 characters is freaking insane. Now, I won't lie, there are times where I like the new story content and revelations introduced in arcade mode rather than the actual story mode, which is understandable. You have to have engaging arcade endings for characters in games like this, or there really wouldn't be a point of going to the arcade mode at times. But that's why I like the arcade mode in BlazBlue Central Fiction. It's just a damn good arcade mode. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of content to it, and you understand things like this, and it's pretty cool. I love it, and I'm glad it's here. With the release of Jubei in BlazBlue Central Fiction 2.0, that brings the roster up to 36 characters, which is an amazing number, especially after all the years of additions and new characters the other BlazBlue games have had. This is pretty much the "everyone is here" tagline of BlazBlue games, and while I would have wanted characters to be playable such as Trinity Glassfield or Kaizou Faycott, I am perfectly fine with the pretty huge roster that we have that took us 9 years to get here. Now, BlazBlue was always known as a series that had a lot of character variety, even back then when Calamity Trigger was a thing and it only had 12 characters back then. Each character plays differently, hell, even Lambda has some changes to separate herself from New as to not exactly play the same. And that's what I love about BlazBlue. There's so many characters and so many ways to play them, and they have a lot of tools to work with. And that's one thing I love about BlazBlue Central Fiction. You have pretty much the highest number of BlazBlue characters to work with in this game, and I enjoy it. Grim of Abyss is BlazBlue Central Fiction's evolution on the Abyss mode that showed up in former BlazBlue games. Abyss mode is this RPG style mode where you play as a character going through several floors of a dungeon, fighting boss characters, gaining stats, and getting much stronger as you progress. Grim of Abyss is a new take where you can equip grimoires that each have their own ranks, abilities, and stats, as well as a single skill attached to them. You can also earn skills per fight rather than just one single skill every boss character like you could in the previous game, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma. Each dungeon is themed around a game that characters have appeared in or alliances. For example, one dungeon could have boss characters who allied themselves with the NOL, or a dungeon who have characters introduced in BlazBlue Continuum Shift, and so on. You also have a boss rush dungeon where you can fight 32 base roster characters who all have a gimmick to get around due to the grimoires they also possess. For example, one is being unable to be hit by anything but an astral heat, one is able to poison you, one is able to fire off astral heats at will, etc, etc. I really love Abyss mode and Grim of Abyss and pretty much everything about these kinds of little RPG style modes that they put in these fighting games. I thoroughly enjoyed my time playing them. They're pretty fun. You actually get to see some crazy moments, and the boss rush dungeon is so insane that, like, just the shit that happens in boss rush dungeon is madness. There are so many characters you have to get around and on their own little gimmicks that it becomes pretty insane where you get up to the highest point, some of the highest points, and you see characters that are not be able to be hit by anything but an astral heat. It's like, oh yeah, we're just being impervious to all kinds of damage. I mean, the only way you can kill us is you have to astral us, and you have to land that astral. So, yeah, it gets really wild, man. It seems really redundant for me to talk about the OST in a BlazBlue game, but the OST for BlazBlue is just top tier in general. But I believe that the composers Daisuke Ishiwatari, Norichika Sato, and Kikuo have gone absolutely insane in Central Fiction. Not only we get to keep the old tracks from older games, but Daisuke has composed some of the best tracks in BlazBlue in this game, such as Nine's theme Walpurgisnacht, Izanami's theme Yomotsu Hirasaka, Naoto's theme Jaeger, Susanoo's theme Must Die, and on and on. There is also God of War, the Hakumen vs. Susanoo theme composed by Norichika Sato, who up until this point only did arranging work in minor tracks such as the BlazBlue Central Fiction character select theme Next Force. He also did the Versus character select screen theme, stuff like that. Kikuo, who also composed the X-Blaze soundtrack and story mode themes in the BlazBlue games, also holds the honor of being able to compose his S's theme, Conciliation. And the Versus themes are definitely no slouch either. As I've mentioned before, there was already God of War, but we have Reincarnation, which is the Versus themes for Kokonoe and Celica vs. 9. There's Bloodline, which is the Versus theme of Ragna and Jin vs. Izanami, and even tracks such as Izanami's Unlimited theme known as The World End and even Hakaishin are godlike. The soundtrack for BlazBlue Central Fiction is just freaking madness, pure, utter madness. I'm not a good person able to speak on music theory and all this shit. I don't know what the hell Daisuke was smoking when he was making this OST, but where he was smoking, I want some, and I definitely love it. A bit of a weird way to kind of end off this top 5, but BlazBlue Central Fiction being Ragna's last game as the main protagonist was something that was really hard for me to take at first, but after seeing the man handle his business, save the world, and is actually nice to see. Ragna has been getting shat on, and I mean really, really shat on, at every single opportunity throughout each and every game. And for every good thing he did do, he got hit with bullshit that was worse just twice over. The man had finally said his piece. He met with the family he wanted to get together with so long, and he finally left with no regrets, just literally pulling out of existence like a champ. And I'm gonna be sad about that. That kind of shit hit me hard because you spent the entire series with this one main character who's struggling against fate itself, and he's finally able to do his own business, save the world, meet his family again, and just. Oh man, I can't get emotional right now. I'm just saying that it hit me hard when I finally got to the end of BlazBlue Central Fiction. I was like, man, it's really over for Ragna at this point. Damn it. Yeah, that kind of shit hits you hard when you've been in BlazBlue for so long. And that's the end of the video. As I said before, if you guys have anything to talk about in regards of BlazBlue Central Fiction and why you like it or may not like it, please put it in the comment section below, because I was trying my best to avoid things I didn't like about this game, and obviously dub was going to be another thing I was going to bring up. But enough about that. Let's talk about the positive things about BlazBlue Central Fiction for once. So put that down in the comment section below, and also if you really like the video, comment and sub to my channel if you haven't already and like the video. So without further ado, I am out, and I hope you all have a great day.